Chaos Impact will be nothing like the Rising Rampage set. And for starters, I would like to say that the Chaos Impact set will have an immediate impact on this meta, unlike Rising Rampage. But Rising Rampage is the reason why Chaos Impact will even have an impact. Introducing new archetypes such as Unchained, but also giving support to strategies like MARINCESS and Gladiator Beast. One would have to wonder, what are the cards that you should be looking out in this set? Don't worry, OGs, I got you. I'm TheCaliEffect, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, then make sure you destroy that subscribe button, but also be sure to hit that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. So without further ado, I present to you the best cards in the Chaos Impact set. Okay guys, so before we get into this video, I just have to say, if you find yourself in the Los Angeles area, I will be at Murillo's for the sneak peek weekend. I guess being banned in Las Vegas doesn't stop me from actually going to sneak peeks. I really hope everyone will be enjoying their sneak peek weekend. Go ahead and post down below in the comment section, what cards do you hope to pull from the set? Also, if you guys are there, I want to actually be able to record everyone's opening, so that could be a thing. The first card we are going to talk about is support for the MARINCESS archetype that made its debut in the Rising Rampage set. MARINCESS Blue Tang is a level 4, 1500 attack, 1200 defense monster whose effect reads, if this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can send one MARINCESS monster from your deck to the graveyard, except for herself. If this card is sent to the graveyard as link material for the link summon of a water monster, you can excavate the top 3 cards from your deck, and if you do, add one excavated MARINCESS card from your deck to your hand. Also, shuffle the rest into your deck. This card is huge for the MARINCESS strategy, but it isn't the only card that was introduced in the Chaos Impact set. The reason why this card is so important is because it allows you to get your extra extenders, as well as send important MARINCESS cards from your deck to the graveyard so you can recur to the hand. This card actually makes MARINCESS a lot more competitive than some players think inside of the TCG format. The next card is another secret rare known as Unchained Soul of Disaster. Yes, the Hakai monsters have been changed to Unchained in the TCG. Soul of Disaster is a level 8, 0 attack, 3000 defense monster. Players would be like, why is this card good? What Soul of Disaster does is that it gains 300 attack for every single Unchained card in your graveyard. Meaning that if you can put 10 Unchained cards in your graveyard, this guy can be as strong as his defense. Or they could have just made him 3000 attack and not give him that effect. Now the next effects you can only use once per turn. It says you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Immediately after this effect resolves, link summon one dark link monster using only this card you control and your opponent's monster. Its other effect says if this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one Unchained monster in your graveyard except himself and special summon it. The reason why I feel that this card is so powerful is because it has the synchro mechanic, being able to synchro summon or link summon in this situation on your opponent's turn using your opponent's monsters is just pretty freaking strong. The monster you are more than likely going to link summon using Soul of Disaster is Unchained Soul of Rage, a link 2 monster with 1800 attack, and its requirements just so happen to be one Unchained monster and one other monster. Its effect reads, during your opponent's main phase, you can target one face-up special summon monster your opponent controls. Immediately after this effect resolves, link summon one Dark Link monster except Soul of Rage by using only that monster and the opponent's monster as material. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one Fiend monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand, except for himself. Now the reason why this card is so powerful is because your Unchained Soul of Disaster allows you to link summon into this, and then this card turns around and allows you to link summon with another one of your opponent's monsters. It's really cool that the Unchained archetype has a way to get rid of your opponent's threats while also building their own. Now, all of the cards that I have talked about have been secret rare. It's not gonna stop, as the next link monster is Unchained Soul of Anguish, another secret rare inside of the Chaos Impact set. And if Unchained actually take off, this could be a really expensive deck. Unchained Soul of Anguish is a Link 3 monster with 2400 attack and requires 2 monsters, including at least 1 Unchained Soul monster. You can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Immediately after this card effect resolves, Link summon 1 Dark Link monster except Unchained Soul of Anguish by using your opponent's monsters as material. Who would have guessed? If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, target 1 of your Fiend monsters except for himself and add it to your hand. Now, the reason why these cards are going to be so powerful is not only if Unchained does pop off, this will be go-to cards, but if you are playing against the Unchained mirror match, you can use cards like Mind Control to take their Link monsters and then do shenanigans of your own, not only breaking their board, but showing you how good these cards can be even if you aren't playing Unchained decks. Abomination's Prison is the last Unchained card we're going to talk about, and I hope the last secret rare we're going to talk about. Talk about secret rares, yikes, this set has all of the good ones. What this card does is that you can add 1 Unchained card from your deck to your hand, and then if this set card is destroyed by a card effect, you can special 1 Unchained monster from your deck. You can only use each of the effects of Abomination's Prison once per turn, meaning that if you do open 2 copies of this card, you can set 1 and have it destroyed with cards like Draconic Diagram, get a free Unchained monster to your side of the field, and you can activate the other to search another Unchained card. This is going to be the money card of the set. I could see it being $70 and you needing 3, because that's just how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works sometimes. Moving forward, I think that Nebula Dragon is a really good card out of Chaos Impact, and you won't have to break the bank to get it, seeing that it is a rare. It is a level 8 monster with 2000 attack, and its effect reads, you can reveal this card and 1 other level 8 dragon monster in your hand, special summon this card in defense position but negate their effects. Also, you cannot normal summon or special summon for the monsters for the rest of the turn except light or dark dragon monsters. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 level 4 light or dark dragon monster from your graveyard, and add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Nebula Dragon once per turn. Now, this card pretty much guarantees that dark matter should never see the light of day, but it's really good for Galaxy and Blue Eyes decks. It allows you to special summon 2 level 8 monsters to your side of the field for ease, and you guys should already know what you can do with 2 level 8 dragon monsters. TENYI, Spirit of Ashuna, should put TENYIs on the map. Probably not. But still, I'm excited about TENYI because it is a worm archetype, and the last great worm archetype, Yang Zing's tried. Ashuna is a level 7 worm monster with 1600 attack and 2600 defense. It says if you control no effect monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you control a face-up non-effect monster, you can banish this card to special summon 1 TENYI monster from your deck. Obviously, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except for worm monsters, or this card would have been absolutely, completely busted. Being able to summon this card, go into your Link 1, then special summon Vashuda, and then go into a Link 2 for free? Woo, I'm glad there's a restriction making this exclusive for TENYI monsters. I do think that TENYIs have a bit of potential. That's a pretty big bit. And maybe it's just because I'm so excited about a new worm archetype, but this is one of the better cards of the set. MIMICKURIL is a card that probably escapes some players' minds, but TheCaliEffect is watching good cards when he sees it. It's a common from the set that says during your main phase you can excavate the top card of your deck. If it is a monster, special summon it, and if you do, place this card to the bottom of your deck. If it wasn't a monster or couldn't be special summoned, place it to the bottom of the deck. Place the monster special summoned by the effect to the bottom of the deck. You can only use the effect of MIMICKURIL once per turn. Now, there's one deck that I know that has a similar card effect, abusing cards like Galaxy Star Beast to get free monsters to your side of the field. MIMICKURIL can special summon a Burning Abyss monster to your side of the field for free, and then you special summon another Burning Abyss monster, and you guys are seeing where I'm going. But regardless, MIMICKURIL can special summon monsters from your deck to your side of the field if you are playing a huge Monster Mash type deck. And seeing that the only monster you would be playing is Sekka's Light, the odds of you hitting Sekka's Light, I've hit a Sekka's Light before. Rest in peace. Regardless, I think MIMICKURIL is a pretty excellent card. One of the sneaky cards that might fly under the radar until some Monster Mash deck picks it up. GRANITE only reinforces the idea that Burning Abyss may be on the rise, or at least the rock version. GRANITE is a rank 4 monster with 2300 attack, 1800 defense. Rock requires 2 level 4 monsters, and it says you can detach one material from this card to activate one of these effects. You can add 1 rock monster from your deck to your hand. Immediately, that screams Block Boy Blocko Drago can be searched now, but its other effect says special summon one rock monster from your hand in face down defense position. You can only use this effect of Granite once per turn. Being able to search or have access to search any of your rock monsters from your deck to your hand inside of a Link 4 reminds me of King of Feral Imps and Gear Gigan X. Where was this card when Xseed monsters were prevalent? Seriously, I think there should be an Xseed version of this for every single type. Worms, spellcasters, warrior, we don't need warriors. Salamangreat Pyro Phoenix doesn't look that great on the start. Reading its effect, it is a Link 4 monster with arrows pointing in every direction you can think of, north, south, east, and west. It requires 2 fire effect monsters, and its effect reads, if this card is Link summoned using Salamangreat Pyro Phoenix's material. That must be fun to do. You can destroy all cards your opponent controls. That must be fun to do. You can only use the following effects of Pyro Phoenix once per turn. You can target one Link monster your opponent controls, special summon it to your opponent's side of the field. If a Link monster is special summoned to your opponent's side of the field, except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters and inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. Now, Pyro Phoenix does seem like a pretty decent card because if you use it for itself, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls, but what actually makes it so good is using cards like Salamangreat Transcendence from the set. And what Salamangreat Transcendence does, a quick play spell from the Chaos Impact set, like I said before, target one Salamangreat Link monster you control. Special summon one Salamangreat Link monster with the same name from your extra deck using that monster you control as an entire material. It is treated as a Link summon. You can only activate Salamangreat Transcendence once per turn, meaning you have the ability to nuke your opponent's entire board on their turn. This could be pretty good for Salamangreat. I hope that this puts them towards the top of the competitive relevancy because my other fire deck, Fire Fist, is just bottomed out. IP Masquerena is a Link 2 monster that requires just 2 non-Link monsters to summon. It says during your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after its effect resolves, Link summon one Link monster using monsters you control, including this card. You can only use the effect of IP Masquerena once per turn. A Link monster that uses this card as material cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Now, if there ever wasn't a Formula Synchron in Link form, not talking about the Unchained monsters because they require specific monsters, Masquerena is it. It's pretty much Formula Synchron and is a really good card allowing you to Link summon on your opponent's turn, meaning you can trigger certain effects on your opponent's turn now. Test Panther is a Link 2 monster requiring 2 monsters, at least 1 Gladiator Beast. If this card is Link summoned, you can add 1 Gladiator Beast card from your deck to your hand. You can target 1 Gladiator Beast monster you control, shuffle it, special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster with a different original name from your deck. It is treated as it's special summoned by a Gladiator Beast monster. You can only use the effect of Test Panther once per turn. Now that we have Test Panther and Test Tiger, are we gonna get Test Leopard? Okay, bad joke, but seriously, Test Panther does give us an additional Link to Gladiator Beast monster that can now be used to help us cycle through our Gladiator Beast effects. Gladiator Beast Comeback allows you to special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or graveyard with a different type than your monsters you control. It also cannot be destroyed by battle. This card's actually really good because there are ways to send Gladiator Beast monsters from your deck to the graveyard through certain Gladiator Beast monster effects, and then you can use this to bring back said Gladiator Beast monster and pop off with either a Link or a fusion play. I like this card a lot. Gladiator Beast Rejection at first glance looks like a really powerful card, and then you look at it again and you realize it's still a really powerful card. Its effect reads, your opponent cannot target Gladiator Beast monsters you control with card effects except during the battle phase. If a Gladiator Beast monster is special summoned from your main deck, you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck with a different type from the monsters you control in defense position. You can only use this effect of Gladiator Rejection once per turn. Now, I don't know who's getting rejected. Is it me? Is it her? Is it the Gladiators? But regardless, this card is insane. It puts Gladiators in a lot better position than they ever have been before. Well, that's pretty much it for the best cards from the Chaos Impact set. I want you guys to post down in the comment section, what did I miss? Also, be sure to post down in the comment section what cards you guys are hoping to pull. I personally hope to pull Unchained cards, so I don't have to buy them. But more importantly, I hope to pull everything. Hopefully we can get some really cool live duels when I come back from California will probably be immediately playing with TJ. Also, while I'm here, I want to give a mad shout out to every single one of my Patreons. Seriously, I wouldn't even be going to California if it weren't for you guys. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great day like I am.